You can open your voice. I can't hear your voice. You should open your voice. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Loud and clear?
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's see here. Let's see if it works again. You still hear me?
Yeah.
So, okay.
I still hear you.
All right, so that's good. All right, so you didn't hear anything before? Nothing? No. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. So I don't know where you're watching. I'm here in Switzerland, and I am in the basement. It's our training center of our dental laboratory, and I'm doing this presentation on the lab scanner. I'll quickly introduce myself. Some of you maybe know me. My name is Vanik. I used to work for the Vita company for many years. I used to do all the training, all the lectures everywhere in the world. And I was born in India. And with 11 years, we moved to Switzerland, where I did all my studies, became a dental technician, did all my degrees. And then I went to the US for a few years to do some marketing stuff, came back to Switzerland. And about, I would say 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I started my own dental laboratory. And we are one of the largest dental labs now in the country. And we do everything. So you can imagine, we do everything from crown and bridge to orthodontics to you name it, we do it, okay? Because we all are in the same boat, every lab in the world. We have to make a living, and you can't just say, I only do ceramics. So I used to be like the youngest instructor on ceramics. That's what I used to do, teach all the ceramic courses. And nowadays I do everything. I do from ceramics to aligners to CAD/CAM, you name it, I do it, okay? And today I was asked to talk about the experience which we've been having with the iDite lab scanner. And so I want to talk about that issue. What I'm doing is I'm doing the presentation from a different room, because where the scanners are the milling machines, and it's very loud there, so you don't hear anything from there. Okay. So if I can mute everybody, because some people are very loud here and I can't hear much. Yeah, okay. So please, if you can mute your microphones a little bit, and then this way it will not bother other people watching. If you look on the first picture, we see all these different scanners on the market, you know, from Sirona to Medit to 3Shape, Dental Wings. There's so many different scanners on the market. And, you know, each scanner had its time, because at a certain time, there used to be, the technology was new. And because of the new technology, it was like, wow, this is a fantastic scanner. But now the scanners have become so good, all of them, that you can't really say this scanner is better than this one or that one. They're all very good, okay? For example, you know, we have in our lab still the Sirona scanner, and I'm looking for a buyer, you know, because it's a huge monster, this big Sirona scanner in the left corner. We don't need it anymore, because the little one which you see on the right corner from iDite does basically the whole job. So we don't need our huge Sirona scanner, and which is very, very slow. We also have a Medit scanner, which is also very similar to the iDite scanner. The scanners which we don't like using are scanners like 3Shape. We don't like 3Shape scanners for the dental laboratory because of their licensing structures and all those kind of things. So we don't use those kind of scanners. Now, people talk nowadays about accuracy. They say our scanner can scan with 3 microns. This is a lot of BS, okay? You know, a red blood cell is about 5 microns in diameter, okay? So when people talk about, you know, accuracy and all that, you know, give me a break. what we can say, what is very important is that the room temperature are very stable when you scan. We can say per degrees change in room temperature, you have 2 microns difference in accuracy, because the metals which are moving, cold, warm, it makes things bigger. So once you have calibrated your scanner and you always have kind of the same room temperature, you will always have good quality scans. You know, some of the old scanners which we were using in the early days, like the smart optic scanner, many people still use that one. It's a good scanner. They were saying it's about 20, 25 microns accuracy. And we did so many implant cases, you know, 5, 6 years ago, and the accuracy was there, you know. So if somebody says ours can do 10 microns, yes, it's okay. People always, what they try to say, it's the repeatability. So if somebody scans in 10, it always scans in 10 microns or in 20 microns, not one's a little bit better, one's a little bit worse. So that's what they're trying to say with that. So what is the difference between the different scanners, or what people are talking about is basically what we can say is, you know, the light source, what kind of a light source is used, the accuracy, which I just spoke about, the speed of scanning. I think that's becoming more and more important. How fast can we scan? It depends what we want to scan, okay? If I need to scan models for orthodontic appliances, I want to be very, very fast. I want to scan in 14, 15 seconds, okay? I don't want to scan for 2 minutes. The capacity, how much can you put into the scanner? That means, let's say you want to scan a triple tray or a model all in one. So you want to put your dies in there, you want to put your models, everything, and it scans everything and puts it together. So that's the capacity. Then naturally the quality of the scan, how good is it built? Warranty, that's very important, that you have a company which does warranty and the support. And we've been getting very excellent support from iDiet. They have somebody in Europe who is basically in charge of supporting us. Then the type of integration, can we directly open from our scanner exocad? Can we just basically, or in exocad, click the scan button and it starts scanning? That's also very important, because I would say now I feel also you who are watching, about 90 to 95% of you are using exocad nowadays. I don't think many are using 3Shape. I think 3Shape is on its way out. Sirona is on its way out. So I think these are systems which have no future, because I used to be involved with Sirona developing their software in their user group. And if you have a little bit knowledge of CAD/CAM, basically you can see the new possibilities with Galway, with the new exocad software. I don't work for exocad, but the way they have done their software is the way we basically think. Okay, the way technicians think, that's the way the software has been built. So the possibilities we have with exocad are just tremendous. And so I think that's direction which we are hitting at the moment. Then naturally, no annual fees. That's very, very important. We don't want to have any annual licensing fees. It doesn't make any sense that, you know, if I like a software and I say, look, I'm going to use this software the next 5 years, I don't want to pay anybody. So I don't want to pay every year a licensing fee. So that's also very, very important. And that's one of the problems with 3Shape, which I've been seeing. They have the licensing fee and all those kind of things. Software functionality, that's how easy is the scanner to use. That's also very important. And what kind of scan file types do we get? And actually the cost, okay? I mean, scanners nowadays should not be costing more than $8,000. If you have a scanner more than $8,000, I don't know why you're spending so much money, because it makes no sense, okay? So that's why I think anything from 8,000 downwards, you can get very good scanners nowadays. So if you look at the light sources, you know, what kind of light sources we have? Usually, you know, it's blue light sources which are used. The blue lights are basically the ones with the right wavelength to get actually the best accuracy. There are still a few scanners which still use laser light, and the laser lighting, you know, like the old Nobel Biocare scanners, all that used to be very, very accurate, but they're very slow. Okay, they don't have the speed of these new type structured light scanners. The accuracy, like I mentioned before, you know, if we have a scanner, I always say, you know, anything between 10 and 20 microns is excellent, okay, is good. You know, people say, okay, anything between 4 and 15 microns is good. I can just say from the experience which we have been having is around 10, 15 microns, then you have an excellent scanner. So, but accuracy is not just one thing, you know, how accurate is everything. Accuracy also has another point. The other point is how accurate can we scan between the teeth? This is something very, very, very important. And nobody's talking about this, you know, is if you look at the tree-shaped scanner on the left side corner, you can see between the teeth, a lot has been interpolated. That means if the scanner can't see that area very well, it tries to somehow close it through the software, okay? It closes it and fixes those areas. That's why it doesn't look nice and sharp between the teeth. So we need a scanner which can go basically nearly straight down. So with the iodide scanner, we have about a 7-degree straight down, we can still see areas, okay? So we don't need to go, because if you go 30, 40 degrees to go and to see into a corner, you'll have holes there, which then have to be corrected. So if you can go 7 degrees, if you can go 5 degrees or 3 degrees, it's even better. So the narrower you can see between the teeth, the better it is. And this is usually not so important when you're doing crown and bridges. But we don't buy a scanner just for crown and bridges, okay? Because what we do now, it's become also big business. Crown and bridges become like daily work now. With this zircon oxide, which we're using from iodide, the 3D Pro Zir, we really get fantastic feedback. Today, a dentist called again and he said, wow, this looks so nice. I always used to use Emax and now it's become so beautiful. So it's become like a standard, the zircon oxide. But because we do all kind of other works like chrome partials now, where we scan the model, then we have to see basically into undercut. We have to see into areas where you couldn't see with some of the old type scanners, where you can't cut the model, where you have to somehow, you can't bend the light, but you can see more into the depth area. And that's why that's become very important for us, that this type of accuracy we get, that we can see between the teeth, we can see all the areas. If you can't see that, then you have a problem. In the past, the only scanner which I was saying was pretty good for doing this was the Sirona scanner, because it had 5 axes, it could turn into all the directions, okay? But now that's over, because that scanner is so slow and it doesn't give us all this benefits which we have with this new modern type scanners. So what we are looking at is how detailed is our scan, you know, and we can really say the scan quality which we are looking for is nice optic looking edges, sharp edges, that we can basically see what it is. And we get these good results from this small scanner. You know, speed is naturally also important. But most of the scanners nowadays are basically fast, are good, you know, I can say that. Some of them, they try to advertise how fast the scanner is, that's why it's so much more expensive. But it's important that we can do different strategies, that we can scan in a light strategy or we can scan in a detailed strategy. What do I mean with that is certain times, maybe there's certain areas, I don't need all that detail. So I want to make a rough scan and just maybe make 2-3 additional shots of a certain area, which has to be more accurate. And that would be like a light strategy. And this is something important if the software will allow you to do this. So we can do this with the IS Pro. It works really excellent that we can work with either the fast or the detail. For example, when we do the occlusion with the scanner and have 2 models together and I want to scan it for the occlusion, I can do it in 1 shot instead of making 3 shots, which will be detail. I can also do it just in 1 shot. Okay, so we have possibilities to do that very, very fast. Naturally, is the speed very, very important nowadays, because when you do a lot of aligners, which has been a fantastic business, any lab who is not doing any aligners, I must tell you, you are losing out, okay? Because aligners is really a good business. And speed is important because when you get all these models which are coming in, then you know, you want to scan these models very, very fast. And so we can get very fast scans with this small scanner which we use. And sure, we're getting a lot of intraoral scans at the moment. Today, again, I think the half of the computer was full. We have developed a special software to get all the digital cases in and organize it on our screen. We print now with our small lab about 1,000 models a month, okay? And, you know, we're only a 15-man lab. Sure, we're one of the bigger labs in Switzerland for Crown and Bridge and everything. But just to give you an idea, you know, 1,000 models a month, that means we're getting a lot of digital work in. And this is going to hit all of you. Sooner or later, you will all be doing a lot of 3D printed models and all those kind of things. So scanning is one side of the business. Model, you scan it, you do it, or get your impression, you scan the impression, print your model. So we have different possibilities. The scanner will do all of it, okay? So the lab scanners, you know, is the capacity, which I was talking before, is very, very important. We want to scan a full-size semi-adjustable or fully adjustable articulator. This is very important. We want to be able to scan that. Some want to scan in color. That means, let's say you have been drawing something on your model, some colors, you want to be able to scan in color. It's very important sometimes, you know, you make some red marks, you make some black marks and all that. So you want to see it when you want to redesign something afterwards. Then you want to also be able to scan impressions. That means you can put an impression in there, scan it. And some people say, why do you want to scan an impression? It makes no sense. I can pour it much faster. What's been happening sometimes, or we've been seeing this, some dentists want the veneers really fast. That means they make an impression, and then in the morning we get it, and they say they want it next morning, all the veneers. Okay, we mill the veneers. So what do? We scan that impression, and then we start designing already our veneers. So during the milling process, the model has been happening. Either you pour the model or you print the model, okay? Because you already have the data which you had designed it on. So that's one of the advantages which we have when we scan impressions. Otherwise, scanning impressions doesn't really make so much, it's not so that important, but when you need to get a case rushed through, I think it's more and more important. Then something also very important is that we can scan models and the stumps, that means the dies, all in one. So you can put, let's say, one model here, the upper, the lower, and the dies, and scan everything, and it calculates everything together, the scanner, okay? So it's not the scanner, it's the software which does that. So then the add-ons, like you can permit scanning from Exocad is also important. So this is, with this scanner which we're using, it's all integrated. That means when in the Exocad, when I open Exocad, I can hit the scan button and basically it starts scanning directly out of Exocad. And it's integrated into the Exocad workflow. Then, okay, for separate models, that's what I meant. Non-separate models, when you have teeth overlapping, that you get that very well scanned. Then so my iWatch is going off. It's Siri. She's saying, what are you talking about? Okay. So let's go to the next picture here. Like I said, the capacities. We can scan impressions. We can scan non-separated models. Let's say you have a dentist who is making really beautiful preps and you can see them with your eyes. You can see the margins very nicely. Then you can do a non-separated model scan, because the scanner which we are using here can go 7 degrees into proximal. So it can go down and can go very straight down. Then all in one scan, like you see on this picture left side in the corner, we have the upper model, we have the lower model, like, you know, the small models, and then we have like the dies. You put all on the scanner and it scans everything together, okay? Triple tray scans, like you see there, very easy. You put the triple tray, you scan one side, you flip that part and it scans the other side and puts it all together. Texture scan is important when you do designs. Let's say you design something for a chrome partial on your model with the pencil or with a color pencil. You can scan that texture and then basically you know, design your model, your chrome partial. And naturally, the all-in-one scan, like where you see like, or the multiple dies, that's also standard. Now, when you scan, and let's say you've scanned and you've made a few mistakes, or certain areas are not very well scanned, we have like, it's like a brush. You just paint over the areas where you have a feeling there's a small hole in the proxim where the scan is not good. And the scan is intelligent and goes and adds those areas, okay? So you have this intelligent add scan, and basically it adds and corrects anything which is not so good. So what we can really say is anything which you see is not so perfect, maybe at the first shot, because the camera couldn't get there, you know, in a perfect angle. You just paint over it, you draw over it, and basically it fixes those areas standard very easy. Okay, so the quality of the scanner depends on the materials which have been used, you know. So the build quality of the scanner is excellent, and iDITE scanner is really made to the highest standards. We can say this. I have a few friends now here, also in Germany. I spoke with the guy today. He just got 2 of them, and he says it works so easy, so good. There was no learning curve. They were using tree shape, and they've completely switched now to ExoCAD and to the iDITE scanner. So warranties are important. So it depends which country you are from, what your dealer does, how he supports you, and those kind of things. Integration of the CAD is important, naturally, with ExoCAD, and it's an open system. This is very, very, very important, okay? We are using with the scanner completely open, no licensing fee. This IS Pro, which we have here on the head on top, where you see those 2 arrows, it can move also 5 degrees up and down. So we can get even better scanned areas with this scanner compared to the previous version on the market. Like I said, ExoCAD is an open system, very, very important. Tree shape, dental wings, and in-lab up to a certain point. In-lab up to a certain point is a closed system, okay? So for us, those are no-goes. We want to have complete open systems. Same with the intraoral scanners. If I use the iDITE Cameo intraoral scanner, everything is open. Everything basically is nice and clean. If I use a Sirona scanner, they say it's open, but I can't export any OBJ files. OBJ files means it's like STL, but with color, okay? And it doesn't allow you to export OBJ. It only just allows you to export STL. Tree shape also. It will only allow you to export black and white, okay? No color information. So for me, even though they say it's an open system, in their software it's open for them, but they don't allow us to view it as an open system. So that's why I want to be able to send my files which I scan to a dentist maybe, and he can look the model in color. If he scanned in color, the information we drew on it was in color. So I want that to be open, okay? So like I said, there is no licensing fee, no annual licensing fee with this scanner. And for example, with the in-lab system, there's also no annual license fee. But what they do is they make you, or they say, let's do a service contract. If something goes wrong, you know, we can do service and all that and that and that. That's all just trying to get the money out of our pockets, okay? So I don't like those kind of things. It's either you're straightforward, you say we are free, we are open system, and then, you know, from there on it goes on. Then how easy is it to learn the scanner? Does it take a long time? And when I got the scanner from iDITE, basically what I can say was there is not much learning curve. Everything is, they have fantastic videos. You just plug those videos in, and after about 5 minutes, you know how to operate the scanner. So there is really no big learning curve to learn the scanner. It's very, very, very easy. And if you know how to use ExoCAD, you'll know how to use the scanner, okay? Something important also is the market price, okay? We have some scanners, which we are talking about $30,000, and some scanners between under $7,000 or under $8,000. Okay, and the 30,000 scanner is not better than the $8,000 scanner. This is something which you have to nowadays understand. The technology has become so advanced that's very easy for the companies to manufacture these scanners. I think on the long run, the scanners will even be under $2,000 one day. So in future, prices will drop even further because the standards, the materials which everybody uses out there has become very affordable to build something like this. And again, this is kind of important, the scan file type, okay? We want to be able to scan in either OBJ or STL. PLY is also good, but OBJ is the scan format, which is basically in color. And you say, this is not so important. Well, sometimes it's important when you do some color drawings on your model, or when we get information, for example, from the dentist, when he does a scan, I want an OBJ, so I can see where the pink tissue is and where the white tooth is, so I can see the prep of the margin sometimes better. Some systems basically don't allow you to do that, so they will only export in STL. And so even if you scan it in color, you can only open in color in their software, but you can't export it into a colored version. So be careful when people say we are open. It's usually only semi-open. Some of the technical specifications which we have here is when you look at the scanning time, it says for a byte, and for upper or lower jaw about 12 seconds. So we're talking anything between, I would say, 8 and 20 seconds to scan something. If we look at the camera resolution, it says 1.3 megapixel camera. That's not so important how much resolution the camera has. The 10 micron accuracy and lower, that's good, okay. The scanner is very light, it's only 5 kilos of weight. You have a USB 3 connection, that's all what it needs. Now, something important with the scanner is, if you have a very fast PC, a very good gaming PC, if your son, you have to ask your son or your daughter, what is the best gaming PC on the market? They know it usually. That's the one you want to get, because then you have a very powerful graphic card and you have enough RAM. If that is fast, then the scanner is also fast, okay? So it's the graphic card and the scan. Now the configuration here, it shows you 1060 NVIDIA GTX. Now you've got already the third generation, 3080 NVIDIA cards. So they are becoming more and more faster, and the faster your PC, the faster the scan happens, the calculation of the pictures. So that's why, once more, to quickly repeat, we can scan very fast. We can scan very fast non-separate models. We can do intelligent add-on scans. We can do all-in-one scans. The software updates are free, no annual fees. And we have very good engineers which can help us. So to give you an idea, what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you, I tried to put it into videos, how to do the different scans, because the problem is with Zoom, when you try to do live scans and live things, usually it doesn't work. The internet speed is too slow because the camera is making pictures, the NVIDIA card is making pictures, and then it's a pain in the neck to do it on Zoom. So sooner or later, we'll all be able to see each other in live again. I just got my vaccine, so in 2 weeks I'll get my second shot, and things are happening that in near future we can do this whole thing live, so we can sit next to each other, we can discuss, and we can talk. At the moment, it's just me talking. I hate these kind of settings because it's like I'm talking to somebody, I don't see them. You lose the personal touch. And we technicians, we like to touch, we like to feel, we like to do things. So I will talk about the scanner. What I would just want to show you something. The scan. I don't know if I can show it on this picture here, where my picture is. This will be the holder for the scanner. And this is so intelligent the way they've done it. Basically, you can take your model and you can put it in between here. So you basically can adjust the height. You go here, down, and then the model sticks in the holder. Most of the scanners, you have to put some kind of something there, or you have to tighten a screw or something here. They have done a very smart hinge here. So basically, you put the model here, tuck, and then it's there for scanning. The same thing is when they scan upper and lower models, they have like this this holder here. You have a rubber band, and you'll see that afterwards. You put your two models here, you put the rubber band over it, and it snaps onto the scanner. So a lot of small, intelligent things have been done to make the life of us very easy. Like you see here, the articulator, you can put it directly on the scanner on this picture, and basically it turns everything. It does all the movements which we need to scan the occlusion in the articulator. We call this a dynamic scan. Okay, so the next thing, what we will do is we'll do an all-in-one scan. So let me see if I can show you how this works. Let me see here. I have to go to my computer here and see the all-in-one. Okay. So this would be a scan where we scan everything in one shot. You can see this picture, I think so. Okay, so let's scan here. So what you see here is the scanner. You create your order. It's always the same. You put the anatomic crown, antagonist, like exocad. And it's really, it's this fast like you see it here. Press the scan button. And you say all in one. First thing you do is you scan the occlusion, okay? So you put your model there and you only scan the buccal side. That's the first thing you do. So once that's done, I don't even bother what they're showing here. Then you take this special holder and you put all the upper, the lower model and all the dies in it, like you see on the picture on the side there. So then you put all your dies, everything together. Scan everything together in one shot. And the scanner is intelligent enough that it calculates everything to the right place because it had scanned before the occlusion. So it knows how to put everything together. And it does it really in unbelievable speed. You saw it took the die and automatically puts the die into the right place of the model. So you don't have to bother too much. Everything is there. Everything is perfect. Hit the next button. You clean your model, so you can cut certain areas away if you want. And basically, you have completed your whole scan, okay? So that was an all-in-one scan which you saw there, okay? And you see it's really nothing to it, straightforward. But let me show you something else which I really like to show the people is the different fixtures which we have for the scanner. So I'll go through this really quickly. If we look at these fixtures here, you will see This is the total jaw fixture. So this would be like this part which I had before in my hand. It's just a metal base. You can either just put the molds on like this, and then just take a rubber band to fix them together for the occlusion. So you don't have to use any sticky wax or anything to hold the models in occlusion. So very smart way for scanning the occlusion bite, okay? So basically you put your models there, it snaps onto it, and you do the scan, okay, for that model fixture. Then we have this one, which I showed to you before. This model fixture is basically moves back and forwards, and it snaps the model in very, very nicely. So it's very, very fast. And that's what I like. Everything is very fast here. It's not like that you waste too much time. Same with the impression. You have a special holder for the impression. So you put your triple tray on this clamp. And that's the way you would scan the triple tray. And then after, you just take it off the magnet and turn it around, and it does the other side. It exactly has the right position. The all-in-one fixture, which you saw before, you scan the upper model, the lower model, and all the dies in one shot, okay? Works very, very nice. So you don't waste time. One model, one die, one model, one die. Model with the palette. You can scan like this. If you don't want to use that thing which you can snap it in, so you can also scan it like this way. And this would be the articulator transfer shim. So let's say you have a certain type of articulator. They have an adapter where you can basically put your articulator base onto this adapter, and you don't have to bother too much. If they don't have one, you basically design one yourself and print it with your 3D printer. Same here. If you have a magnet base, depends on your model system, your split cast system, you just put it on there and you start scanning. So it depends how your lab is organized, what kind of model system you have. You basically choose one of this. This all comes with the system, so there's no extra purchase, or you don't have to buy anything special. You know, it comes everything together. Let's say you have a situation where you have to scan a model and maybe 6, 7 dies. This is the way you can do it, okay? You just put that part in. So that was one thing. Let me show you how to do a dynamic articulator scan. This is very, very interesting. Let's say you want to scan, you have everything in the articulator and you want to scan everything to get the right occlusion. And the scanner really will remove all the pin of the articulator. So when it does it. So again, here you start again. You create the order, it's always the same, okay? You say what you want to do, order number, you say you want some crowns, the pontics, whatever you want to do. And then you save it. And now when you go to the scan button, it opens this dialog here. And this dialog says, 1 second, it'll just open it in a second. Here we go. And you want to do a dynamic scan. Articulator, dynamic scan. That means it turns the articulator always into the right position for scanning the occlusion. You put this base here. And you can just place your articulator on this tray. So any articulator will fit on it. Just put it on there. You don't have to worry, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to fall. And basically you click the start button and it scans this the articulator like you see here. This is to cut excess material away. So when you move this ring up and down and you hit the next button, it just cuts that debris which you see there away. So it's that easy, you know, if you want to do an articulator scan. Naturally, you can also scan it with, like you see here, scanning the models. And it puts everything together into the scan which you did before. So it fits perfectly in the occlusion, okay? This is what we call a dynamic articulator scan. And the speed which you're seeing here, like it's calculating, this is really in real time, it is like this speed, okay? It's only in the beginning when we are doing the order, that's a little speeded up on the screen. But the speed is, it's really like this. Okay, and let me just show you one more thing maybe, which is also kind of interesting. Let's see, I would say we can do an a non-separated model. Just to give you an idea how this works. This we do a lot, non-separated models. We do, for example, the aligners, you know. We don't separate the models. Basically, we just scan two models, upper and lower. So we choose a non-separated model in this situation. The first thing we do, we scan the occlusion again. So we put the two models together. Usually I hold them with my finger, the two models. I don't even use the rubber band, but the occlusion is kind of clean. I get this scan like you see here. The next thing is just remove the upper model and start scanning the lower model. It always tells you on the right-hand side, please insert the lower jaw. So you put your lower jaw in there, hit the next button, and it scans it. And it's really, the speed which you see here, this is the speed, this is the real actual speed, okay? And the interproximal, it scans it very, very nicely. This is very important when we do aligners or chrome partials. Like you see, there's a small hole where that molar is. That can be, you can add a scan there. There you see, you draw it red over there. Intelligent add scan and scan. And it'll close that area. It rescans that area and closes those holes. It's that simple, okay? Straightforward the scan. The holes are closed, so you can add any area which you have a feeling there's a hole or something. You can just paint it red and it scans that area. And if I move this ring, the red ring up and down, that's the area which it cuts away. Okay, so if I want to trim a certain area, I go up and down. You don't have to do it, you can leave it, but your data is a little bit bigger if you leave that. Then we put the upper jaw in there and we scan the upper jaw. Exactly the same thing. It always tells you what to do, so you don't have to know too much. It says put the upper jaw in there, hit the scan thing and start scanning. The software is very, very, very intelligent. The software engineers who make this software are also the same who make the intraoral scanners software, and they have a very good know-how on matching pictures together. This is just to cut the debris away if you don't want it. But I never bother about this. I just go next, 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 because I anyhow open it in Exocad and I can cut it there away. Here you don't have to close the interproximal holes because it's only a opposing side. And now it starts to align everything, the upper and the lower jaw. So you see the upper has already been aligned into the occlusal bite, which we scan first. When you hit the next, it'll align the lower one. It's already aligned. And basically, it's done. When you hit the next, now you can complete, or if you hit the design button, it would jump to Exocad, okay? So when you hit the complete button, it basically saves it on your PC and you're done. If you would go into design, it would jump and open Exocad if you have Exocad linked to it. So there's so many different techniques in scanning, so many different possibilities, and you can scan basically anything you want, okay? Maybe we will do just an impression scan to show you the last thing, a triple tray of scan, okay? Let me do this one, that you can also see how this works. To give you the idea how you can scan a triple tray. Again, everything always same. Create an order. So you're scanning an impression. You put the lower impression like you see there. So once the impression has been kind of scanned, like you see here, you can cut the debris away if you want. You take that holder, and you turn it around, okay? You can cut the excess areas away. So it's been turned around, now it scans the other side, and it knows exactly how to match them together. It aligns everything, so you will see upper and lower now in perfect occlusion. So it was like in the impression that you got. You can cut the excess away like you see here. And then you see where your model is, huh? That's what I'm trying to say with this. Let me just close this here. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the whole system is so easy to learn, easy to understand. And that's what's important nowadays. It's not big words and big things which people are talking about. It's like we have to just get from point A to point B as fast as possible. And it's same with the intraoral scans. You know, nowadays we're getting scanners. We have so many possibilities with the scanners. But what was the dentist doing until now? He was basically taking an impression, he puts that impression in his mouth, we get the thing, we pour the model. I don't need to get all this extra information. I just want to make a model. I want to make my bridge. I want to make my crown. And that's what the dentist nowadays also same thing. They say, I just want to make a standard digital impression. I don't need to draw the margin of the preparation. I don't need to do this. If they want, they can do it. But I tell the dentist nowadays, don't even say where the crown is. Just say there are two orthodontic models when you make a crown for intraoral scan. In Exocad, when we open it, we anyhow define where the crown is. So, and same thing here, you know, I want to keep it very, very simple and fast, because everything is becoming so fast nowadays with this digital. I don't want to waste too much time. So far, you know, we are, you know, I've pretty much done. There's still many other things, and I'm sure you can contact your iDiet rep, and they can give you all these videos if you're interested in the scanner, in getting the scanner yourself. And I really recommend this scanner because it is good. Believe me, it is really good. And I'm really excited. I was told I will be getting soon, end of May, I'll be getting the new milling machine from iDiet, the 500 DC. Which will be very, very, I'm so excited to try that milling machine. We have here now actually 5 different milling machines, and the iDiet has got a large disc changer. And some people say, for what do you need a disc changer? Well, nowadays it's becoming so important with all our materials, zircon oxides, that we have the right thickness because of the different layers in it. Okay, so if you have a gradient layered zircon disc, you want to have the right thickness. So that's why you need more discs in your milling machine, otherwise you have to change too often your discs. So yes, maybe we can, you know, talk about some other things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's finished.
Yes, it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much done. And I hope you enjoyed it. I've seen there are about 50 people which have been watching this seminar from every part of the world, from India to you name it. And this is one of the nice things, at least, you know, that we can do these things. I'm doing a live course on the 2nd and 3rd of July in Dubai. And it's really, it's about everything. It's from it's like a day where we are going to enjoy ourselves. We are talking about the tissue, bionic tissue colored materials. We're talking about zircon oxide. We're talking about milling machines. We're talking about intraoral scanners. So it's a day for us to interact with each other, dentists and technicians. So if somebody is close to Dubai, try to you know, come to this presentation, to this hands-on course, okay? And I'm looking for that course, because it's like the first real course after the lockdown, okay? It's like we're looking forward to you know, getting out of our, I call it our prison, which we are in at the moment, in our cocoon, which is sitting inside. So soon it's all over and we can start enjoying ourselves again. Thank you, iDiet, for putting this presentation on. I hope you all enjoyed it and all have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vanik. Thanks for everyone listening. If you are interested in other courses, please follow our official Facebook, iDiet, AIDIT. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vanik. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's see how I close this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm here. Are you? So you are the host again?
Yeah, yeah. I'm still the host.
Yes, you're the host. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just give the right of share for you.
So I gave it back to you already, or?
No.
Yeah. I'm still the
you
host. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you very much and good night.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
我再放一个视频就做结束吧，好吧？
行，好嘞。
基本都没有人了吧？
关了吧，冉哥，没
嗯
有，只剩10几个人了。
我关了。
退吧。
Thank you everyone. Thanks for support. Please have a good night. Bye. 关了。